As I started interacting with patients more, I saw it that dietary modifications could make a huge impact on their life, but we weren't necessarily given the tools.
Hi guys, I'm here with Akash, and where are we? We are at PCRM's International Conference in Nutrition and Medicine, and so glad to meet him, and I just want him to share his story because it's something everybody needs to hear, and that's what I call having high agency. He saw a problem, there wasn't a solution for it, he didn't know what to do, all he knew was there is a problem and he needed to do something about it. And I loved his story so much, so floor is yours. Just tell us what was the problem and what did you start to do?
Sure, I really appreciate that, especially since your animal rights activism has inspired me a lot. So basically I realized early on, I'm in medical school, that so much of human disease and chronic disease that affects our population is strongly influenced by lifestyle factors, predominantly diet. But then when I was in medical school, I saw that nutrition training made up such a small fraction of our education, and it just didn't make sense. There was clearly a disconnect there. As I started interacting with patients more, I saw it that dietary modifications could make a huge impact on their life, but we weren't necessarily given the tools to counsel patients on that. And so I really just had a strong passion for it, didn't know exactly what the end goal was or how I was going to go about it, but I approached administration at my school, told them that's why I was passionate about it, the same reasons I just told you. They were very receptive and they told me I could start making some nutrition materials, we'll give it a trial run. Fast forward a year later, now I'm giving multiple lectures on nutrition in the medical school. I'll eventually, over the next year and a half, be making a permanent nutrition curriculum for our medical school. And the feedback's just been great from students and faculty alike. And really the plan is, with PCRM support and everyone else that's been great that I've met along the way, is to scale this to every medical school. So it's the norm that every student in medical school learns the importance of plant-forward diets, not just for human health, but planetary health and for animal rights as well.
Yeah, so what I love about this is it's not just about doing something in medical school. It's the fact that having that high agency, basically you saw that there was a need, which was lack of nutrition education, and you basically didn't know what to do. You didn't have any friends or any help or anything.
No.
You literally went to administration and said, hey, we need this. And they were like, well, why don't you give us some material? And you had to go study, make the material yourself, right?
Yeah, I've read nutrition research on my own plenty before, but it's different when you're creating a full lecture. And so the first lecture I gave was on cardiology, and I made a 45-minute lecture. And I remember while in medical school putting probably over 40 hours into creating that lecture, because I wanted it to be perfect, because I knew that would affect receptiveness to future nutrition education. I wanted it to be great.
And listen to this, because I'm so tired of people telling me they're busy and they don't have time, because he's in medical school, obviously he was busy, but when you are passionate about something, you just make it a priority and you find time to get it done.
I think it's interesting you say that, because it didn't feel difficult to wake up earlier and work on that or stay up later and work on it, because I was passionate about it. It was exciting to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they made it sort of like mandatory for everyone else to
listen. So these aren't optional lectures. These are mandatory lectures, part of the curriculum, and they're being tested on it.
And then they ask you, in addition to cardiology, make additional material for other specialties? Because
the first lecture went so well, students wanted more, the faculty really received it well, and so they asked me to make some other lectures for other specialties as the students learned about it. Yeah.
They asked him about how they can make sure that this lasts after you graduate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you're trying to build something that now lasts.
Yeah, exactly. Because once I'm gone and I graduate, then there won't be anyone to give the lectures. And so I've been working with administration to figure out ways to make something that's woven into the curriculum. And it's not just a one-time nutrition class. They're seeing it all throughout medical school and how it's relevant to every disease state and how to keep patients healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's making it sound super simple, but earlier when he was telling me, like, so you went to them and you had some plans how to proceed, and they didn't like it. They said this is too expensive, too complicated.
Yeah.
So
a bit of trial and error. Yeah.
You make it sound really simple, but I know it wasn't as simple. What is your message to other students, not necessarily medical students, but I'm a student, I'm passionate, I don't know where to start. I'm disheartened because there's so much drama in the world. I'm overwhelmed with shit in the world. I don't even know where to start. What is your message for students?
My message would be, if you have an idea, if you have something you're passionate about and you don't know how you want to go about it, just take the first step. When I started this a year ago, I had zero plan. I just went to administration and said, I'm really passionate. What do you think we could do? This is what I'm passionate about. This is why. And can we make something work? And then it just snowballed from there. And now a year later, I'm talking about creating a standardized nutrition curriculum for every medical school. Like I would have never imagined that. And I think if everybody just takes that first step with that idea, they could make some really huge transformations in the world.
And he's so humble. He's actually talking about this tomorrow at PCRM's conference. But I just love this so much when this is a sign of a successful person. They don't come out of the blue. They're not like magical people. They're just people like us, but they care, they spend the time, and they just do something about it. And that's what makes them really special. I just like mad respect, seriously.
I appreciate it. And I have a lot of respect for everything
Thanks.
you do too, seriously. So
yeah, I just want more students to be empowered.
Yeah.
That they can make huge impact, and all they have to do is to just care. And if they don't know where to start, like the key is just to get started and everything else.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised how receptive, a lot of times people think administration tells us how it goes. No, they want to hear student feedback. They want to know how can we change our curriculum going forward or our program? How can we make our school better? And they're a lot more willing to listen than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, thank you. I know you had a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank
Mad
you.
respect.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.